Welcome to the video, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Imbraxis. I'm the Marketing and PR Manager for Divine Souls. I'm joined today by two of our publishers, our lead publisher and his assistant. Today we'll be just taking you on a quick tour of our city here inside Divine Souls, and then we'll be showing you a small demonstration of PvP combat. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and bring up my UI, and the first feature we want to take a quick look at here is the city itself. As you can see, laid out around the city, we actually have different portals. You may notice above our names that we actually have any TV test. That is the guild name. We do have our guilds implemented. So we're just going to go on a quick tour and walk around the city. Of course, you've seen the PvP area already, so we'll go ahead, check out a couple of other things.
One thing to remember during the city tour is that some of this may change. It's not all finalized.
Yes.
Alright, so for the beginning of the game, this is where you're going to spend the majority of your game, is traveling through the city to different zones in the area. There's various NPCs spread out around the city, ready to give you quests at the appropriate levels. You can see in the distance here that there's actually more than one portal lit up in the city. We've got various features hidden behind each portal. Unfortunately, in this video, we just are not entirely ready to show you what's behind these portals, but we can talk just briefly about them, and then we'll be showing you a couple of NPCs. So through this portal here, this is the Soul Defenders portal. This is where all of the in-the-game max level content for PvE players in Divine Souls is hidden. We've got various modes in there. Again, we're not ready to reveal that at this time. The only thing that we're prepared to reveal today is PvP, but you can be assured that we have some great information locked behind that portal.
And as you're looking around the city, take note of sort of the architecture and stuff. You'll notice we're sort of going for a high mix of fantasy and steampunk technology, as you'll notice with other parts of the city as we go around.
Yeah.
Alright, so just moving slightly to the left of the Soul Defenders portal, you'll actually see we have the guild manager here. This is where players, as they make their way through the game, they'll be able to create guilds such as any TV test. We will be showing the guild system in a later video. We'll be trying to put them in smaller videos so that you guys get a good look at each system. Through this portal here, though, is actually your guild hall. So we do have a featured guild hall in the game, so if anyone was ever wondering about that, Divine Souls has that covered for you. So just moving right along, just quickly stop by the post office box. Unfortunately, no one sent me an email because I'm not a very liked player in the game. Just moving to the left here, this is the main gate that most players will be entering and exiting the city through. Through this portal is access to the entire leveling experience for the game from 1 to 40. We have various instance dungeons. That will be where you're doing the majority of your leveling experience. Currently, we're only ready to show levels 1 through 10, however those will be done in a separate video. You can expect more in the future. We've got great boss battles, and a lot more to come beyond that. I'm just gonna... Oh, go ahead.
Okay. You should see a boss thing on top of your screen. You just got a message because we love you.
Oh, okay. We'll run back over here and just grab our mail real quick. So you access most items in game with the letter T. Mr. M here, who is our assistant publisher, has sent me the devil's number worth of gold. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that and just shoot him back a quick reply. Alright, so we're going to bring up the map here just to show you some of the other features that you can engage in while you're inside the city. Currently we do have a lot of the features of the game fully fleshed out. We do have an enchanting station that'll be covered in another video. Unfortunately, I don't even have the materials to show you what's involved there. We've already shown you the guild manager. We've got a broker, which would be your auction house. And why don't we just go ahead and go over to the broker real quick, because I do have an auction I need to pick up. So as you can see, I actually just clicked on the broker's name. If you ever get confused or lost in the city, just clicking on an NPC's name will take you directly to their location. So here we are, we're already at the broker. You can see the active auctions I already have up on the market. Unfortunately, I guess no one has the gold for them right now, but someone did buy my book of multi-shot, so
One thing to remember with the broker as well is the wording hasn't been correctly localized at the minute. The system fully works, but some of the language still needs a little bit of tweaking.
correct. So that's about going to conclude it for our tour of the city. That's all we really wanted to show you for now. There will definitely be more coming in the future. From this point, we'll be going ahead and engaging in PvP. We'll have a representative from each class. It appears we've lost Mr. M along the way somewhere. But currently I'm playing on the Priest class. Steph's here is playing on the Fighter. Maybe we could just quickly elaborate a little bit on how each class actually plays. I'll go ahead and let Steph's take over first.
Yeah, definitely. So the fighter's sort of your melee Devil May Cry style sort of combat class. Pretty much you punch things in the face, and the glove he's actually got on his hand is very steampunky. Within that, it's got sort of a chain grab, so he'll shoot a chain grab out and grab people. You can use powers of the glove to sort of shoot fireballs and things like that. It's a really cool class to play. But Ambraxis is currently on the Priest. He knows a little bit more about that than I do, so I'll let him go with that.
Alright, so the Priest is kind of a hybrid DPS and healer. He has some healing abilities, which you will get to see once I'm in player versus player combat. He has some long range knockback abilities, as well as some large area AoE poisoning abilities. He has a few dots that he uses, but primarily he's a physical melee DPS. He's a very in-your-face interface character. Much like every character in this game, the combo systems tend to be a more, I would guess you would explain it as personal. A lot of characters are very up close and personal melee, with the exception of the mage, which we can see Mr. M is. So if Mr. M would like to go ahead and elaborate on the mage a little bit.
Yeah, the mage class is like currently the most powerful class, I suppose, but it's a little bit slower than the priest or the fighter or the slasher. With the mage class, you can like freeze people around you, shoot fireballs, and you wield a huge ass hammer that shoots fireballs. You can pick up enemies with your hammer. You can jump, well, have them picked up, and you can slam them into the ground, like shooting at them at the same time. So that's like mostly about the mage. We currently don't have the slasher online, but if Stephs would like to talk about it, I can pass the estafette to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh huh.
Excuse me.
Yeah, for the mage class, as you can see, the mage wields a huge ass hammer that can shoot fireballs. You can grab people with that hammer, slam them onto the ground, and shoot fireballs at them at the same time. You can freeze people with ice around yourself. You can shoot fireballs. The mage has like some different skills, a pretty nice AoE ultimate, and the mage class is one of the most powerful classes, but the mage is a little bit slower. Yeah, so we have Blitz Monster, that is Steph, the head publisher,
Okay,
and
so I'll talk a little bit about the slasher,
yeah.
but first I'm going to elaborate a little bit on what he's saying about the mage. So basically, the mage has got a bit of CC, it does a ton of damage, and it's got a lot of sort of teleports and stuff like that. So the mage is sort of a really strong range class. If she can stay at range and things don't get hold of her, then she will out damage a lot of classes in the game. But onto the slasher. This is the slasher I've got here. I'll just show you the sword on the back. So what this sword is it's basically a massive chain contained within the blade. So the sword will extend like a chain whip, basically, and smash enemies. So the slasher can do a hell of a lot of AoE damage. She's also very sort of agile. So she'll dive into combat, smack people about, and dive out again before getting hit. So the slasher again is another class that's sort of very agile and versatile in the damage output and the way she can do damage. But that's what I'll tell you about the slasher for the minute, because some of the abilities are still being tinkered with a little bit.
Alright, and that's going to conclude it for our tour of the main city here. We're going to go ahead and head up to the PvP arena, and we'll be showing you guys a little 2 vs 2 PvP combat.